Okay. Yesterday was a funny day for Bitcoin. After I recorded my video, there was some crazy price action, and I was watching this, and it all happened rather bizarrely over about an hour. But yeah, looks like trend's going to continue. Anyway, let's get on with the price action analysis. May as well start on a 4 hour and work my way up. So you can see Bitcoin is back above 101,000. And as I said in yesterday's video, I was looking for a daily closure. And I'll show that on the daily time frame, but that didn't occur. There was no daily closure, I don't think, although I'll check on the daily time frame, above previous all-time high, just back over here. So basically above 100,000. There isn't yet either, but this looks like it could be the move that makes it happen. You can see that the price didn't really close below the midpoint. I mean, it did, but barely below the midpoint of the Bollinger Band, the 20 SMA here on the 4 hour time frame. And now it certainly closed a few 4 hour candles back above the zero line, not the zero line, the midpoint of the Bollinger Band. And there isn't volatility expansion yet. It's more of a range play. However, 4 hour volatility expansion will definitely, occur should Bitcoin get back above yesterday's high. And let's all hope it does. I've got mixed feelings about that. I think 105, which has already nearly been achieved, I think it was tapped on CME, may be a sticky area for Bitcoin, but I might be wrong. The next area of interest that I have in my mind is 120. So we'll see. And I'll talk to you about how I think this might play back on the higher timeframes. So from the point of view of the 4 hour, it's looking good for probably a retest back up around this 103 level. The momentum will continue to the upside with fresh turn up. Yeah, pretty much, as long as Bitcoin's closing 4 hours back above 99.3. So looks good. All right, up to the daily time frame. Still got a bit of a cough, sorry. Now, interestingly on the daily time frame, you can see straight away, I love the way Bitcoin does its price action. You can see straight away that the volatility expansion I talked about on yesterday's video will occur if Bitcoin can close its daily basically above where it is now. So it's basically above 101,500. That will then likely beget another upside move. Now, until then, though, this is sideways consolidation on the daily time frame, even though it's up and down all over the place. And as of yesterday's price action, you can see a lovely range between 92 and 103 on the daily time frame. More interestingly is if price action continues where it is, pretty much within $2,000 of where it is at the moment, when it closes in 4.5 hours time, it'll close and the MACD will turn green. So it'll be continuation of momentum to the upside. However, momentum on an RSI is certainly cooling off. And if this does become a volatile move on the daily time frame, unless the RSI gets back above the previous RSI, which was like 83, there will be 3 drives of bearish divergence, regular bearish divergence, pretty much, on the daily time frame. So is there going to be one more move that sort of establishes 105? Maybe higher, but I'm not sure about much higher than that. And then a significant pullback. Possibly. That bearish divergence is likely to play out at some point on the daily time frame. It hasn't played out yet. So we'll see. But the more drives, the higher the price goes and the lower the RSI comes, the more likely there is for a pullback, unless price just goes sideways and the RSI cools right off, and then you can get another move to the upside because momentum has had time to cool off without particularly breaking down. So I would say those are the two possibilities from the point of view of RSI. And I'll do for RSI. Okay, so looking good for a daily closure, potentially, although it's Friday, so maybe it'll be next week when this volatile move does actually kick in. But it's looking good for a daily closure above 100K, $100,000 a Bitcoin. Now, weekly on CME, because it's going to close in 2 hours. So I got a weekly time frame at first. It's going to close in 2 hours, 40 minutes. And it's no great shakes of a candle, but it certainly is still a volatility expansion to the upside, just like here. So remember, since this bull run began back in the end of November 2022, there have been 2 periods of prolonged consolidation. There was the 2023 period, which is basically the summer 2023, and it ended towards the end of October. And then there was the 2024 consolidation period, which pretty much ended a bit later. It was more like the beginning of November. And clearly what followed this consolidation was a significant move. And already there's been a significant move. You shouldn't draw parallels between price action. It's a bit of a fool's game, but there has been some symmetry so far in this bull run, and I do wonder if the same may play out. And as I said in yesterday's video, when CME broke out of this range, it went on to do, well, I think I did this on the perpetual exchanges, but you can see on CME, it did a 30% move, and then it went sideways for probably about 2 months, roughly. And then it did, following the breakout, it did if I go right to the top of the wick, a 60% move, but for closures, more like a 45% move. So, the average of those, if you rounded them, if you averaged them, you'd be looking at sort of 40% moves. And already, so far, for CME, from the breakout point, oh man, clocked my own view, to where the closure is likely to occur, it's a 32% move. So maybe there's about another 10% left in this, which would take Bitcoin on CME up to, like 110-ish. We'll see. Do not rely on that, because that is just me looking at a chart and drawing some parallels. But that's all it is. There's nothing more than that. From a price action point of view, though, continuation on the weekly time frame, continuation to the upside for CME's weekly closure. So that looks good. I think I'll just skip back down to the daily, and you should always, look at what if things go the other way. So from the point of view of the daily time frame, which is kind of where this next move is likely to start from, if there is a volatile move to the upside, that's all off the table with the daily closure back below 90, call it 96. It doesn't mean end the bull run. It just means further consolidation and narrowing of the Bollinger Bands, revving up for the next move. So will the next move be next week, or will it be further on down the road? I don't know, but it's looking good for a closure, a daily closure, which is what everyone wants. Maybe even a weekly closure on CME above 100K. It's quite the milestone for the mighty Bitcoin that we all love so much. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.